The DG National Center for Women Development disclosed in a press briefing held in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, heartfelt gratitude to the presidency staffs of the center as she clocks her 4th year in office come Friday, 9th of April 2021. The DG, Mrs. Mary Ekpere, described her tenure as a very successful and fulfilling one, as she had been able to leave her finger and footprint in various areas that concerns women. Among many was advocating for the rights of women, gender-based violence, as well as striking down offenders with the support of security agencies, putting in place entrepreneurship programs such as artisanship programs, and granting women patent rights and startup capitals to empower them. She also stressed further that during the tenure there was a drastic increase of budget plan for the NCWD. This was due to her relentless effort to achieve adequate support for women. Speaking of her challenges faced, she stated that the pandemic caused hindrance in reaching out to women in need, especially at the grassroots. She also called on the government to keep up with its good work and showing great concerns towards the development of women.
I'm sure they're doing their homework. Very soon you see not just one or two, you see various female aspirants, and I am very sure that a woman is likely to emerge as a presidential candidate in one of the major parties for 2023. However, what we do, we carry on advocacy to the grassroots. We encourage participant politics to start at the grassroots to ensure that women becomes the decision making from the grassroots, nurturing them. For instance, like in my ward, we have about 12 women in the ward ESCO. Even though they call it Madam ESCO, we are fine with that. So we encourage them, don't just stay in Abuja waiting to be elected or appointed, here in Abuja. You go to the grassroots from the ward congress. Right now, the APC is doing membership registration. We have encouraged women who've done jingle to register to be a member. It's not compulsory, you must not be a member of APC, but you must be a member of one of the political parties. And secondly, when there are congresses, ward congresses, local government congresses, state congresses, women, we carried our advocacy to the grassroots, should participate in the congresses. It will be easy if we have female chairmen, state chairmen of parties, chapter chairmen, that's the local government and the ward, and other key positions. Being a woman leader alone cannot give you a voice. Cannot give you a voice. You will be a lone voice talking alone. So we're encouraging women, talking to them to participate in the partisan, to make sure they participate in the Congress and get elected as from the Congress. And like the councillorship coming up from other councillorship, chairmanship, we try to educate women, make them participate, galvanize resources for them to encourage them in the election. So we believe that when you have from the grassroots, from the ward, the local government, the chairman, the state chairman, councillor, and all the state executive and whatever are women, it will now help us to build, it will now help us to galvanize and move to the national to take power. So we are carrying a lot of advocacy to ensure that women participate, not sit back to wait for political appointment, but participate. Go to your local government, go to your grassroots, go to your state, and be a member of, try to be a member of the ESCO, or member of a state, assembly, councillor, chairman, and other. So the advocacy is on, and it will continue. As I tried my best as a woman to give it all, my all to fellow Nigerian women, as according to my mandate. One of my achievements, like I've said earlier, first of all, when I came to the office, the first issue was that the infrastructure were moribund, they were dilapidated. You go to the guest house, it was completely off, everywhere was leaking and the situation was terrible. As a woman who liked aesthetic value, I started with the horticulture to make sure I bring the entire landscaping to bear. For if you talk about women, you talk about beauty. So a woman cannot exist or cannot operate in an untidy environment. After the landscaping and the horticulture, bringing the beauty, which is synonymous with the woman, we took over the guest house, which is a 62 rooms. In short, the entire system was overhauled. I renovated. I'm sure most of you who applied that could testify that what you see with your eyes today as the National Center for Women wasn't like that in the past 4 years. So I renovated the entire compound, every department, the guest house, the auditorium, committee room, hostel, daycare, the admin building, the kitchen. In short, the kitchen now is state of the art. You could pass and see. We just finished renovating that just last week. Just handed over the site to us. If you could see, it's the state of the art. So we started by that, having put alongside with renovating the structure. We introduced other programs. I would like to focus basically on the area where what I introduced, because I cannot talk on too many, to save our time, except if you don't mind if we could stay here for a very long time. Then we now talk of, first of all, the issue of gender-based violence has been rampant and nobody is doing anything. We do not have the power, the prosecuting power, but we can still help the system. One, advocating to educate the girl child of their right and how to protect themselves. Secondly, to bring up the young boys who are father, how to be good gentlemen and young men. It is not all about the young girls, how to protect themselves. You need the young boys also, the he for she, to learn, to be taught how to be a man, how to protect yourself. Being a man doesn't qualify you to rape. If you're a gentleman and a man, a well-trained man, then you shouldn't participate in rape or gender-based violence. So it was a two-way side. Usually in the past, they only talk about the girls, but I think it became necessary for me to bring in the young men. We teach them, we educate them what to do, how to react to your female counterpart. Most men are very shy. And having done that, we went ahead to establish the gender-based violence dashboard, where we track offenders. How do we track offender? From there, we research, first of all, research. And when we do research, we collaborate with the police, the Nigerian police, all the prosecuting, all the other government prosecuting agency. We get data from there, follow it up, ensure that those who are accused are actually prosecuted and judgment is given. And where judgments are given, we record it in our data bank, because the National Center for Women Development hosts the Nigerian Women Data Bank, and we populate all these into that data bank for record purpose. Like we introduced in collaboration with Ministry of Agriculture, I introduced issue of supplying input. If you look at the mandate of the president, it's basically on agriculture, like going back to the Green Revolution of those days. So I felt women shouldn't be left out in agriculture. So I introduced women, introduced the program to the Nigerian women. We have trained a lot of women. First of all, the input. We have this yearly annual input they're giving for women, which is going to come up on the 16th of this month, where the Ministry of Agriculture and ourselves will come together, distribute input to women to encourage them in farming. And apart from input, we give the implements, value chain for those who are into processing, like garri processing machine, palm oil processing machine, and many other equipment to encourage them go into farming.